What have you been getting up to? Is it another horror game, maybe?
It is.
Is it in a series that you've recently been talking about a lot?
Yes.
Does it have the number 4 in it?
It does.
He plays a blonde.
Yeah, dirty blonde, I guess.
He's definitely a blonde.
Yeah. I played Resident Evil 4, the remake. It was developed and published yet again by the Capcom. Released March 2023 for PS4 and 5, Xbox X and S, Windows, iOS, and Mac OS. I don't know what the difference is. I just wrote down what Wikipedia said.
My favorite way to plagiarize. I've been known to do that.
I cited my source. I said the Wikipedia. Nice job bumping the table.
I got fat knees. What can I say?
The story follows Leon Kennedy. He must save the president's daughter, Ashley, from the Los Illuminados cult.
The Illuminati?
Yes. Leon meets friends and foes along the way as he kills townsfolk seemingly infected with a parasite, possibly designed and bred for violence, maybe.
You mean like in the other 3 games?
He saves Ashley 4 or 5 times, but each time the cult kidnaps her back.
Princess Peach.
There's a bad guy that pops up, and Leon seems to have a history with him, but I don't recognize him at all. It was weird. I don't know. I probably should, but I didn't. For visuals, yet again, this remake is made in the RE engine, so it's possible this is the best looking Resident Evil game to date.
So that's the re-engine.
The re-engine.
Rengen.
Fire, smoke, gory monsters, they all look very good. I'm not gonna just keep saying the same things over and over and over again. The RE engine is amazing. Sound design is fantastic. I love being able to stand still and be able to hear what is happening in the room. If there are bad guys shuffling around unaware of my presence, Leon breathing heavy after a short jog despite being a super cool secret badass agent guy.
He should be able to do more cardio.
He can't run for shit, and it's very frustrating.
Is that an Alan Wake reference? You can hit me, it's okay. I accept my fate.
The cave with the spooky water dripping, or the old castle with the spooky creaking, the sound is immersive and enjoyable.
Speaking of water dripping.
Yes, the water drips down into my home. I basically live in a cardboard box.
Where is that actually coming from?
The chimney for the water heater thing.
Cool.
And I don't know why.
Weird.
It doesn't actually drip into the water heater, so I don't know what's going on.
Does it not have a cap?
I don't know.
You should climb on the roof.
No.
Little boy.
I don't want to get wet.
Then why did
Are you afraid of getting wet?
Then why did you watch Fallout with me?
There's one enemy in particular that sounds super cool. There are these bugs, very much like those camouflaged bastards in Jedi Survivor, that make a really cool bug-like creaking sound as they die a horrible, violent death. Very good. I hand wrote my review for this.
I needed you to bring back the notebook. It's been a long time.
It's 4 pages long. My hand hurt so bad.
Nice.
This whole weekend.
Very good.
After I angrily scrawled all my notes. Gameplay. Very early on in the game, you find a challenge posted by the stranger, the merchant, through the whole game, to shoot 5 blue decorations in the area. These are a carryover from the original Resident Evil 4. There are a bunch of these challenges, possibly more of them than OG, but I'm not sure. I didn't finish it. And I enjoyed them quite a bit.
Shiny.
That's like the only nice thing I have to say.
Oh, this is gonna be rough.
For gameplay, anyway.
Woof.
The merchant has changed a little. There's the stuff he sells for money, and then special things he sells for spinels. They were like a gem. I don't know if I'm even saying it correctly, but that's how I've been saying it these 2 months.
Shekels?
Nope, they're just a pretty pink gem. In OG, the spinels only sold for money, but in Remake, they sell for like cool scopes or what else were there? There was like there was a storage increase. There were different like charms you could put on the storage case that gave you different benefits, like weird things that you could only buy for the pink gems. And this is cool. I like it well enough. It adds variety, challenge, and interest in exploring, trying to find these spinels to buy the cool shiny thing that I can't get otherwise. The aiming mechanic is different in 4 than other games.
AKA not tank.
OG put a laser pointer on the pistol, and that's here as well. Rifles aim down sights or scopes, and this is okay to change, but I prefer Resident Evil 2, Remake 7, and 8 with the over-the-shoulder reticle that gets more precise the longer you aim and stand still. It's built into the engine, and I just like that very much because it adds tension because you have to stand still and aim.
Meaning it emulates what the original 4 did, but not as literally, where you have to stop moving to aim. Maybe? It's like a vibe thing.
Remake, you have to stop and aim, but the actual reticle that you, the player, are using is different.
Strange. I thought Remake just made you be able to aim and move at the same time.
No.
Weird.
You can't both.
I'm misremembering. I haven't played either one, so...
Resident Evil 4 is famous for taking survival horror and sprinkling action-adventure on top. This is evidenced by Leon being able to stun enemies and spin kick their face into next week. This is okay on paper. Remake adds a crossbow-like weapon, and at one point early on has a hallway full of enemies, and it teaches you that you can sneak up behind enemies and stealth kill them with one knife to the jugular.
But
this is also okay on paper.
Yeah, but
the two ideas do not mix at all. Stealth is straight up broken. It doesn't work. Enemy detection is wonky. I quickly fully upgraded the damage on the crossbow, and it would still take 3 or 4 shots to get a kill, and every time I fired it, it alerted enemies in the area.
yeah, that's counterintuitive.
There were several times I used the sniper rifle instead, which makes a big bang when I shoot it.
And it didn't alert enemies.
I got a one-shot kill and kept stealth. It did not alert enemies. It's absolutely broken.
What the hell?
I'll get back to that later. The prompts for stunned enemies sucked. I've had a problem with this in 4 OG, and we've been dealing with it in 5, but I'm going to talk about it here now. Sometimes
a lot of issues in 5.
I'd run up and have to press X for a spin kick or right trigger for a knife kill. There was no way of knowing which prompt was required before getting to the guy, and the stun is on a short timer. So if you choose the wrong button, the bad guy would not be stunned anymore and often attacked me for a large amount of damage because I'm standing right in front of him. It was far safer to stay away and just shoot the stunned enemy. Also, I wish the stun timer was shown over the enemy instead of just a generic stun signal. I wish it had like the little logo of like this guy is stunned, and it had like a spinning circle around it. I wish that spinning circle was like an actual countdown of like you have. It makes perfect sense in my brain,
yeah,
but I'm not a game designer.
Nah, that would make sense. That makes sense. You know, Assassin's Creed does that, or did that when it was good. So,
interesting.
You know, just to put out my limited information with the whole 10 games I played in my life.
Quick aside, level design suffers, quote unquote, like Doom Eternal. So much of it feels like hallway, arena, story bit, arena. The weapon upgrade system is weird. At the beginning of the game, the damage upgrades are notable, but about halfway through the game, upgrades are so expensive, when you finally get one, it's really hard to tell a difference. If you fully upgrade a weapon, you unlock the ability to master it. I don't know if that's the actual word, but that's whatever. You unlock the ability to master it, which is a special perk you can buy with in-game money and a special ticket. The only tickets that I saw in-game were for sale by the merchant for spinels. There were only 2. One was for 30 spinels and one was for 40 spinels, which is crazy. Most of the other special things were like 12, 15.
Jeez.
So they were really expensive. Or you can buy tickets with real world money for $2.
Ew, I didn't know that.
I'm sure there's a secret third way, but I didn't look into it. This is bad.
I agree.
Knives have durability, which you can...
Excuse me? What?
Which you can pay the merchant with in-game money to repair. But this is another way the stealth system is hot trash. The stealth kill cinematics, where you sneak up behind a bad guy and stab him in the neck, still wears down your knife. By quite a bit. Meaning your knife breaks.
Excuse me, is this a modern Zelda game?
The boss fight at the end of chapter 12 out of 16 total chapters is either broken or complete bullshit.
That's the one that I saw you get stuck on.
Let me tell you about it.
Okay.
So I didn't reach this part in 4 OG, and I was asking somebody at work what this boss fight is like, and he's like, the guy stands still and does a bunch of attacks that you need to run around the room and like not get hit until the guy pops out of the safety shell thing like a turtle, and you just shoot him until he's dead. I was like, wow, that's completely different from Remake. Remake, the guy in the castle that kidnaps Ashley for the 3rd and 4th time, is this short little Napoleon Bonaparte looking motherfucker. And Leon walks in the room, and Napoleon's like, "Look at me, I'm such a cool guy despite being short and fat like Napoleon Bonaparte." And Leon shoots him in the head like 3 times, and he flops over. And it's cool. It made me laugh the first time. And then the bad guy turns into the rumor weed from Larry Boy. He's just this big black venom monster. With like a fat flower head at the end of it. So he's climbing the ceiling and walls very, very, very quickly with like this Napoleon corpse sticking out of a flower head.
This is the one I saw you get stuck on. You were so mad.
A venom wiggity woo tentacle monster thing.
You were so fucking mad.
He moves around the room very, very, very quickly and shoots these exploding blobs at you that you have to not walk into because they explode in your face, or he just pukes black goo at you that hurts very much, like kills you if you get hit by puke twice. Or my personal favorite, he'll just get on the floor and run right up to you and grab you with a big lobster claw that kills you on one hit no matter how healthy you are. I tried several times. Could not do it. Could not even come close. No idea what I'm doing. Pull up YouTube, and you had to stand in certain spots and shoot down certain lanes within a quick time succession, or use a pillar, a gate in the middle of the room, and just run around that completely because the bad guy gets caught on the geometry. He cannot attack you around the pillar. So he'll like either try to attack you through the pillar, which doesn't work because of game geometry, or he'll run around and you just wait for him to get back down and you just shoot him from... It's broken. It's stupid. It's awful.
Weird.
Very bad.
Sounds it. But at least you had the courage to plow through it.
I gave it one last chance because I looked up YouTube how to do it, and I got it on the first try. If I didn't, I was uninstalling the game. Oof. It was bad. Very, very bad. This is an unconfirmed conspiracy.
Oh.
Hear me out.
I love these.
At the very least, it feels like enemy health and damage taken is a dice roll. Sometimes it takes 7 or 8 perfect headshots, and sometimes only 1. I honestly wonder if it's a designed built-in system to give the player bad rolls intentionally to wipe out their inventory. When the level design is so predictable, it helps build the feeling of like, what the fuck? I didn't have any space left in my inventory when that encounter started, and now every single gun is empty. I have nothing. I have nothing. It's more than a coincidence. I don't have a better word for it, but it feels like the game has systems made to spite the player. That was just the feeling the whole time I played this game. The first level has Leon being chased through the woods where there are bear traps hidden in low shrubbery and trip mines you can't hear when so many villagers are yelling to get him or you. And this is in the original, but in the original the shrubbery is very thin. You can see the traps if you're looking for it. Whereas Remake has all the pretty graphics.
Shiny.
And you can't see the stupid fucking traps.
I love watching you lose your shit. It brings me joy.
The feeling is intensified even with basic horror game tropes. There's one part with a new enemy type for the story, not for the game series, that can only be killed if you break through 3 secret weak spots that you can only see with the right scope, which means you need ammo. So it's got like a thermal scope on it, and you can see the 3 like parasites that are inside his body, and you have to shoot and kill those, otherwise he keeps regrowing. Basically, you can't kill the enemy that's in this room because you just got the scope and you don't have enough ammo or whatever. You have to throw a lever to unlock a door, and that changes the path back to that door, which conveniently means you have to run past that enemy again instead of running around him because the room changed. Resident Evil 4 hates you as a player. It makes playing the game a chore and unenjoyable, especially with a story that feels stretched out. Ashley legit gets kidnapped back 4 times at least. I lost count. It's like, I saved you, now we have to escape. Oh, they took her again, now I have to save her. Over and over and over and over again. Basically, and this is my out that I told you I'm so excited for. I thought this up myself.
Okay.
I'm so smart. The core gameplay loop is uninteresting to me. I don't enjoy the combat of the game, which changes and obviously increases in difficulty as the game goes on. Enemy variety changes to keep things interesting visually and maybe for strategy, but when damage feels randomized, I just don't enjoy the gameplay loop. The game is beautiful. It's a good game. It's not for me.
So less enjoyable than playing 4 original. Admittedly, you didn't finish that one, but you seem to understand the logic that went into it.
No, it feels very much the same.
Oof.
I would play a remake again because it's pretty at least, and there's, you know, the cool challenges by the merchant, and there's I wouldn't say puzzles, but I guess the encounters are more interesting. But I really don't want to play this game again.
Yeah, you've spent like 6 weeks, 8 weeks on this. It's been a while.
It's been a long time, and I have not enjoyed the most favoritist game of the Resident Evil series. I can't wait for 7. That's my favorite.
Yeah, best of luck, sir.
Spoilers.
Sure. Stinky.
Yep.
Not good.
Nope.
That sucks. It's really weird because I think not just because 4 is so like loved by the fan base or whatever, but like 4 remakes seem to get a really good reception outside of the Resident Evil community. Just, it was a really good remake that changed some stuff.
Yep.
But it was really good, and
a lot of the changes are good changes
on paper.
But I don't know. I'm cursed. I don't know. I don't like Resident Evil 4.
Weird. This is strange. I genuinely thought you were gonna, like it.
Yeah, me too.
Strange.